You may have heard the saying, the hero is only ever as good as their villain, and this is generally true for all of storytelling. A good villain isn't just some obstacle for the hero to overcome. The great villain, in my opinion, has to be something more. Generally speaking, these tend to be mirrors to the heroes themselves, representing the other end of the spectrum with goals that are the antithesis to the heroes. Scary villains tend to be unknowable, mysterious, with truths that are simply too much for the mortal mind to comprehend. They pull the strings and you barely see them until it's too late. They're Lovecraftian, if you will. Now, truly memorable villains tend to be inevitable, unstoppable, and nearly merciless in executing their plans. These villains are, as a lesson from the screenplay so eloquently put it, a ticking clock. There is no stopping them, there is no avoiding them, you have to face them, somehow, some way. And if you don't think that's terrifying, then I don't know what to tell you. As you may have already figured out at this point, all of these are the main ingredients to what makes the Reapers work so well. From the very start, the Reapers are presented as this enigma, and the Reaper we first run into, Sovereign, is first thought of as a Geth ship. However, all of this changes on the planet Vermeer, and in what you could say is due to a happy accident, Shepard makes contact with their true enemy for the first time.
This is not good.
You are not Saren.
What is that? Some kind of VI interface?
Rudimentary creatures of blood and flesh. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance, incapable of understanding.
I do not think this is a VI.
There is a realm of existence so far beyond your own, you cannot even imagine it. I am beyond your comprehension. I am Sovereign.
Sovereign isn't just some Reaper ship Saren found. It's an actual Reaper.
Reaper, a label created by the Protheans to give voice to their destruction. In the end, what they chose to call us is irrelevant. We simply are.
The Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago. You could not have been there, it's impossible.
Organic life is nothing but a genetic mutation. An accident. Your lives are measured in years and decades. You wither and die. We are eternal, the pinnacle of evolution and existence. Before us, you are nothing. Your extinction is inevitable. We are the end of everything.
There is an entire galaxy of races united and ready to face you.
Confidence born of ignorance. The cycle cannot be broken.
Cycle? What cycle?
The pattern has repeated itself more times than you can fathom. Organic civilizations rise, evolve, advance, and at the apex of their glory, they are extinguished. The Protheans were not the first. They did not create the Citadel. They did not forge the mass relays. They merely found them. The legacy of my kind.
Why would you construct the mass relays, then leave them for someone else to find?
Your civilization is based on the technology of the mass relays. Our technology. By using it, your society develops along the paths we desire. We impose order on the chaos of organic evolution. You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it.
They are harvesting us, letting us advance to the level they need, then wiping us out.
What do you want from us? Slaves? Resources?
My kind transcends your very understanding. We are each a nation, independent, free of all weakness. You cannot even grasp the nature of our existence.
Where did you come from? Who built you?
We have no beginning. We have no end. We are infinite. Millions of years after your civilization has been eradicated and forgotten,
Where are the rest of the Reapers? Are you the last of your kind?
We are Legion. The time of our return is coming. Our numbers will darken the sky of every world. You cannot escape your doom.
You're not even alive. Not really. You're just a machine. And machines can be broken.
Your words are as empty as your future. I am the vanguard of your destruction. This exchange is over.
The conversation with Sovereign is probably one of the most awe-inspiring moments in gaming history. Here you are, a squishy little human with her squishy little friends, getting trash-talked by a literal machine god. This one conversation is really the moment where the story goes from 0 to 100 real fast, because previously you were just chasing some delusional super agent terrorist, and now the clock just started ticking. The countdown has begun, and throughout the 3 games you frantically sprint through various missions and deal with powerful individuals and factions to find some way, any way, to stop the Reapers. Even as Mass Effect 1 ends with Sovereign's destruction, Mass Effect 2 still has you thinking about the Reapers in the back of your mind. Every mission, every squad mate feels critical. On your first playthrough, you're at first not even sure the Reapers are still the main bad guys here. The Collectors are, an equally mysterious race. It's not until Harbinger starts to pop his ugly mug into your missions where you finally find out that the Collectors are but tools at the Reapers' disposal. And when you do find out what the Collectors truly are, it makes the Reapers even more terrifying than before.
That's a Collector. Were they experimenting on one of their own?
EDI, I'm uploading the data from this terminal. See if you can figure out what they were up to.
Data received. Analyzing. The Collectors were running baseline genetic comparisons between their species and humanity.
Are they looking for similarities?
I have no hypothesis on their motivations. All I have are the preliminary results. They reveal something remarkable. A quad-strand genetic structure identical to traces collected from ancient ruins. Only one race is known to have this structure, the Protheans.
My god. The Protheans didn't vanish. They're just working for the Reapers now.
These are no longer Prothean, Shepard. Their genes show distinct signs of extensive genetic rewrite. The Reapers have repurposed them to suit their needs.
You'd think somebody would have picked up on this.
No one has had an opportunity to study a Collector genetic code in this detail. I've already matched 2,000 alleles to recorded fragments. This Collector likely descends from a Prothean colony in the Styx Theta cluster. But there are signs of extreme alteration. 3 fewer chromosomes. Reduced heterochromatin structure. Elimination of superfluous junk sequences.
The Reapers didn't wipe out the Protheans. They turned them into monsters and enslaved them. Still, they're working for the Reapers now, and we have to stop.
The reveal that the Collectors are actually repurposed Protheans is like a punch in the gut. This legendary mysterious race of supposedly benevolent beings have been forcibly turned into a ruthless species of drones that are now crafting a new Reaper through processing humans into a metallic goo. Now, as much as we can all agree here that the Reaper baby boss fight was pretty goofy, the idea is still incredibly disturbing. You're fighting the collective embodiment of hundreds of thousands of people, and you have to destroy it. But destroy it you do, and the game ends off on a shot that shakes you to your very core. The reveal of thousands of Reapers descending on an unsuspecting galaxy. At this point, the Reapers are the main threat. No more Sarens, no more corrupted Protheans. Now Shepard finally has to face them. But first, let's destroy a Batarian system to slow them down a bit. Jokes aside, as much as the Arrival DLC wasn't really my favorite among the slew of memorable DLCs, there is one moment that shines, and that's the conversation with Big Daddy Reaper Harbinger.
Shepard to Normandy. Joker, do you read me?
Shepard, You have become an annoyance. You fight against inevitability, dust struggling against cosmic winds. This seems a victory to you. A star system sacrificed. But even now, your greatest civilizations are doomed to fall. Your leaders will beg to serve us.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we can't win this. But we'll fight you regardless. Just like we did Sovereign. Just like I'm doing now. However insignificant we might be. We will fight, we will sacrifice, and we will find a way. That's what humans do.
Know this as you die in vain. Your time will come. Your species will fall. Prepare yourselves for the arrival.
Now, the conversation isn't very long, and it doesn't hold the same terrifying weight as the conversation with Sovereign. However, this time it feels more personal. Harbinger sounds annoyed. It always knew Shepard was an obstacle from the very moment Sovereign was destroyed. But now they'd stopped the Reaper's plans not once, not twice, but thrice. At this point, it felt like Harbinger was the main bad guy, the one in charge, the one who was Shepard's thematic rival, the other side of the coin. Mass Effect 3 starts and the galaxy is instantly burning. The Reapers are here, and as Sovereign promised, their numbers do darken the sky of every world. The situation feels impossible. You see Earth slowly but surely getting vaporized, and there's nothing you can do but run. Run to fight another day, to find a way to stop this before it's too late. Mass Effect 3 does an incredible job of setting up the story, because what do you do when you're faced with such overwhelming force that there really is no way to truly fight and nowhere to truly hide? Well, let me introduce Deus Ex Machina! To be frank with you, Mass Effect 3 is an incredibly frustrating game because while you can't help but love the setup, the stakes, and the tension that runs through the course of the game, they really drop the ball on the Reapers, man. They're still an overwhelming force and they're still terrifying in their methods, but they're not unstoppable anymore, and they're not unknowable anymore. The game desperately tries to keep up the mystery, especially with the final conversation Shepard actually has with the Reaper, the one on Rannoch.
Shepard.
You know who I am?
Harbinger speaks of you. You resist, but you will fail. The cycle must continue.
What are you talking about? We stopped Sovereign and the Geth. We stopped Harbinger and the Collectors. We've earned a straight answer.
It is not a thing you can comprehend.
We might surprise you.
You represent chaos. We represent order. Every organic civilization must be harvested in order to bring order to the chaos. It is inevitable. Without our intervention, organics are doomed. We are your salvation.
You're killing everyone in the galaxy to save us?
The cycle must continue. There is no alternative.
Organics and synthetics don't have to destroy each other.
The battle for Rannoch disproves your assertion. Finish your war. We will be waiting.
Yet again, you're met with a brick wall. They are simply too impossible to understand, and you're just a mortal, an insect. You represent chaos, they represent order. What order? Well, sucks to be you, because Mr. Destroyer here just left you on red. Not even when you seek the help of the Leviathans, the somehow still living creators of the Reapers, do you get a true explanation. It's only when you reach the final 30 minutes where the game reveals it all. Or rather, an intelligence reveals it all. The Starchild.
I need to stop the Reapers. Do you know how I can do that?
Perhaps. I control the Reapers. They are my solution.
Solution? To what?
chaos. The created will always rebel against their creators. But we found a way to stop that from happening. A way to restore order.
By wiping out organic life?
No, we harvest advanced civilizations, leaving the younger ones alone. Just as we left your people alive the last time we were here.
But you killed the rest.
We helped them ascend, so they could make way for new life, storing the old life in Reaper form.
I think we'd rather keep our own form.
No, you can't. Without us to stop it, synthetics would destroy all organics. We've created the cycle so that never happens. That's the solution.
Now, this conversation has been bemoaned for more than 13 years now, and for various reasons, but to me, the greatest issue with the Catalyst is that it, well, lessens the Reapers. It turns out that in combination with what we know from the Leviathans, the Reapers, or well, the Catalyst, were working on, well, faulty parameters. No wonder we couldn't comprehend their reasoning, because their reasoning doesn't even hold water in the first place. Now, I don't think the conversation between Shepard and the Catalyst ruins the Reapers entirely. Their mythos is still iconic in my eyes, especially so since the Reapers started out as Lovecraftian unknowable entities. And with what we know of Mass Effect 3's rushed production, I think it's safe to say that had BioWare had more time, they probably would have come up with a better explanation for what the Reapers actually were. At any rate, the Reapers are still memorable, so much so that people were incredibly disappointed when Mass Effect Andromeda's main threat, the Cat, reared their ugly mugs. Essentially, the Cat were like a "we've got Reapers at home" type situation. Not as cool, definitely not as scary, and their leader was a cardboard cutout of a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Since then, BioWare's latest outing, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, tried to incorporate some aspects of what made the Reapers such memorable villains. Lovecraftian elements, ruthlessness, overwhelming power. But in the end, what people remembered will always be this.
Elganon and Gillinane.
The guys from Warhammer?
Elganon and Gillinane.
Now they've escaped.
The elven gods, Elganon and Gillinane, have escaped.
By the way, did you know that the elven gods have escaped? Also, I need to tell you something. The elven gods have escaped.
Despite some build-up, the elven gods of Dragon Age just didn't hold up. Partly due to weak writing, but also because they were never really solidified as the main overarching bad guys in the first place. That was always just the archdemon, and possibly whatever created the Blight in the first place, which turned out to be the corrupted dreams of Titans, which we find out in Veilguard. But therein lies the problem. Dragon Age never had a consistent main baddie. In one game it was the Archdemon, in others it was Corypheus, in another it was the Elven Gods. There was no ticking time bomb. There was no emotional investment from the very start. There was never that thought of, man, I wonder how we're gonna deal with them, this is gonna be so interesting. What we ended up with were, yet again, forgettable cardboard cutouts of what villains are supposed to be. Not because the concept of the Evanoris is boring and that the gods themselves aren't cool conceptually speaking, but because they ended up being just another obstacle. The final obstacle, to be fair, but still just another faction of generic bad guys. And so, we end up at the title of the video. The next Mass Effect has a villain problem. I'm not saying that to be dramatic. If you've been watching the video up until this point, that notion should be pretty obvious to you. I probably don't even have to explain why. But to put it simply, as we have established, your villain should always be a priority in storytelling. Hell, I'd argue that the villain sometimes takes precedence over the hero. So, after the Reapers and the sheer scale of their objective, how do you lay the groundworks for a new, equally memorable villain? Do you scale back and bring it down to society level or even a personal level? Do you scale up and make it multiversal? What is the theme behind them? What do they represent? To truly pull this off, the next Mass Effect will quite literally be needing next level writing, because you see, one of the endings can be canonized. As much as some fans will be upset, that'll most likely be the solution to the ending dilemma. But in order to create real stakes here, to create real drive, a vehicle to push the story forward, you need a truly great villain. And for a new chapter of Mass Effect, this needs to be a priority. With Andromeda and Veilguard, it's understandable that lots of fans are expecting more of the same, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm concerned too. On the other hand, the next Mass Effect is being made by a different team with a different lead, and so chances are that they will indeed be able to pull it off. At any rate, what I've been trying to say with this video is quite simple. My message, if you will, is simply that focusing on the plot itself and the endless possibilities of where the story might be going, it might be just too much to chew off. Start with the villain, their goals, what drives them, what they represent, what is their relation to the protagonist, and then you simply go from there. But that's just what I think. So as always, do let me know what you think in the comments below. This has been Mr. Holton, signing off.